this has become one of my favorite days of the year. It's a moment to think back on the past year and especially today, kind of realize how far this has come, not just as a firm, but as a region committed to building something bigger together. Before we go any further, I want a special thanks to our presenting sponsor tonight, Fulton Bank. I'm sure that Fulton Bank has things that they want me to say about their services and things like that, but, sorry, is this working? But I wanted to talk about a real testimonial here. That's something that's happened in the past couple of weeks. You know, Fulton's always been a partner of ours, but not often do venture firms and banks really work together on investment. But there's always things that pop up with companies. And in this particular case, there was an emergency. Fulton Bank came in, and I'm telling you that not just like, oh, you know, maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll not, trying to figure out a way to make sure that they could solve the issue that we were having, but also see that where they could participate as well. Not a normal bank around here at all. I love, you know, a lot of folks that work at all the different banks. Fulton Bank has truly made a difference in what we're doing. How about a round of applause for that? And some more thank yous. First, thank you to Keystone Kid Space, Jess, Jen, everybody here. It's always a magnificent place to have this event. Morales Kitchen. If you enjoyed some of the fruit in the fruit dish over there, that's Morales Kitchen. And the Pretzel Company. So if you haven't been to past ones before, I'm going to share a video of them.
If you put a pin in York, Pennsylvania, and draw a 100-mile circle, that's really pretzel country. We knew that we needed to grow from 39 West Market Street in downtown York and look for a facility that could accommodate not only our needs at the time, but give us a little room to grow. We're really looking for a partner that understood small businesses, understood York, and understood technology. White Rose Ventures was a great partner because none of those things were foreign to them. They spoke our language in the way that we needed to be heard, and it never felt like they were just trying to make a sales pitch to me, and I didn't feel like I was making a sales pitch to them. A partner like White Rose really gave us access to the capital that we need to go from a 1,900 square foot space to an almost 10,000 square foot space, and made that transition pretty seamless.
Yeah, you know, we made that video 2 years ago, and what I love about it now, looking back, is, and you may not notice this, but behind Philip was his facility, and it compared to today, it just looks very empty. He has grown that business so well. If you ever get a chance, go and check out their facility. It is fantastic. But in my shoes personally, it was very cool to see how they have grown, even since taking that video. Next, I'm gonna kind of lump this all together, but obviously this doesn't happen alone or even with just a small team. We really just have a bunch of just incredible folks around what we're doing, how we're investing, and how we're adding value to businesses. First, the White Rose Impact Fund Investment Committee, next the White Rose Ventures Advisory Board, the Brady River Collective Board, which Sheree will talk about in a second, and our partners at Harrisburg University, specifically CIE and their fellows. Jay will talk about that more, but this does not happen without regional collaboration. A round of applause for those groups. So let's take a step back. This was us 5 years ago. I know, you remember? So, so today is actually our 5-year anniversary of White Rose Ventures. It was, and I actually didn't plan it that way. It, 5 years ago we started this, and it's funny looking at that picture. It looks like we're out to, fight crime. And funny enough, my friend, as we, some news article picked this up, and he sent me a text right after it said, "Martin, I had no idea you guys got into fighting crime," and sent that logo. But seriously, it kind of looks like that. Anyway, we started to back builders that no one was watching, and quite frankly, no one even knew about. And today, 5 years later, I think those entrepreneurs are known entities around here and are leading the way. Our thesis was simple. Talent is everywhere. The capital not so much. It's not that this region doesn't have capital, it's just that it was not looking at this asset class. Over the past 5 years, in 2020, White Rose Ventures and Braided River Collective were started. 2021, the White Rose Impact Fund had its first close. In 2022, we got to work. It was our first full year of investment and a ton of learning, a ton of cutting your teeth, if you will. In 2023, we began our conversations with 1855 Capital and won a federal EDA grant to explore a broader fund strategy for the state. In 2024, we formally established the Keystone Innovation Fund that I'll talk about in a second, and brought in Penn State, which was our first major institutional partner for ours and very validating for what we've tried to build here. And now in 2025, we'll talk more about the Keystone Innovation Collaborative, the next iteration of what we're doing. Tonight's agenda is pretty simple. We're going to talk about the White Rose Impact. I'm going to talk about the White Rose Impact Fund. I'm going to have Cherie come up and talk about the Braided River Collective. I'm going to have Jay Mohan speak to CIE. I'm going to come back on and talk about the Keystone Innovation Collaborative, and then our keynote speaker tonight will be the Galleon CEO, Amanda Orson. So our mission was pretty clear here. White Rose Ventures, for anyone that doesn't know, is a network-driven venture firm working with entrepreneurs, foundations, and private investors to really spark entrepreneurial efforts here in central Pennsylvania. We do three things well. We connect entrepreneurs with capital. I don't even know where I am. We connect capital with entrepreneurs ready to scale. We support founders with resources, network, and guidance. And we bridge Pennsylvania's innovation ecosystem across academia and industry. We are two sides of the house. We are White Rose Ventures and Braided River, and I will talk about the White Rose Impact Fund. So today, the White Rose Impact Fund is an $11.9 million fund. We have $9.2 million deployed across 13 portfolio companies. Those are the facts. These are the metrics that I'm really humbled and excited about. One, we have a MOIC, a multiple invested capital, of 1.24x, which is top quartile for vintage 2021 venture funds across the country. We have leveraged $44.8 million, meaning with our investment, $44.8 million has come into those portfolio companies that we've invested in for a 4.6x economic multiplier return. I know our friends at Ben Franklin use this number a lot, and I'm just very fortunate to see our number in the same range as you guys as well. This is one that I'm super excited about too, though. Because of our investments, we've brought a lot of co-investors in. And those aren't just co-investors that are investing in the companies that we bring them in for. These are folks that, one, never looked at central Pennsylvania to invest in a company, but now that they often say to us, Martin, we invested in X. What else do you have in central Pennsylvania? That is really powerful. It is really powerful because those are very significant dollars that are now looking at a place like central Pennsylvania to put their money. This isn't, just some more logos, if you will, but the longer we build, the more co-investors come to follow. It is exponential how that grows. And central Pennsylvania does become impossible to ignore. These are portfolio companies that I want to run through, just quick highlights. Again, this is more strategic in nature, but with Wove, custom jewelry platform born in Lancaster, now setting up their Series A for 2025. Cybercon IQ just came out with their agentic AI product, and it's grabbing serious attention in the market. Gilson Snow, obviously a snowboard manufacturer in Selinsgrove, attracting M&A interest left and right. The Pretzel Company, bringing a modern twist to the CPG brand, reviving the soft pretzel, scaling faster than we could have imagined, and proving to be just a great quality company here that's being born and raised here in central Pennsylvania. Return Logic, I can't say enough about some of the folks in this room who have been around this for so long. Not, just like everybody else's jobs and lives, not all growth is linear. I am so proud of where this company is at today, and I'm just really excited for the folks in this room. I won't call you out, but it's best days are ahead for Return Logic. Galleon, Amanda will speak more about that. Reflection, a neuro performance tech company blending AR and VR with their Reflection Go product getting a ton of attention across the space as well. Athlon, Move to Learn app that rallies students to learn more effectively. Christina was supposed to be here. She was actually in Pittsburgh, talking to Pittsburgh Public Schools and got tied up in traffic, I guess, but could not make it here. But just another great company that also is a company that Jay and White Rose are invested in through CIE and White Rose. Poseidon Strength, a fitness brand with a real voice and national reach. Mark and Brad are here today. Really fortunate to have them here because I think 90% of their time they're on the road. So I appreciate it a ton. Nokia Logics, rewriting the interface with humans and machines. Dave, at this point, I'm just wondering what award you guys haven't won at this point because it is just amazing what you guys are building. Teamology, an ed tech company tackling mental health. They're preparing for their Series A this year. And Pledge It continuing to do the same great things every single day and also attracting M&A interest as well. Here's a slide. It was actually just announced yesterday, the collaboration between the Philadelphia Flyers and Athlon. I just want to throw some pictures here. And then also Nick Gilson with Governor Shapiro. And I was saying to someone else, if you just transported somebody here, could they tell who the governor is in this picture? He just looks like he's going to run for office or something. But anyway, just great work. How about a round of applause for the portfolio companies? We truly have become that access point that we've always talked about between founders and investors here in central Pennsylvania. And we're truly proud to continue that mission here today. Next, I want to introduce the chair of the Brady River Board. For anyone who knows, Brady River is our nonprofit, and the chair, welcome to the stage, is Cherie McFadden.